Okay, situation, Megala's blocked. You don't mind if we film your whole embarrassing incident, do you? Where'd the board go?
I think his feet are touching the bottle.
The Vernon State Forest is only about 20 k's west of Hervey Bay. It's mainly used by trail bike riders and runners, but why run when you can drive, I reckon? There's no camping allowed here, so we're just going to poke our nose in, take a look at a few hills that Kenno's been on about, and then move on. Well, we've got to actually make it to the hill climb first.
Bottom down.
Mate, I'm on the belly.
Maybe hit one of those magic buttons and, levitate or something.
Oops, it's on its belly again.
Out of the hundreds of different features the Landy has to offer, Glen ended up choosing tyre placement and a bit of right foot to get through.
There she goes.
Yep, with the larger tyres, Kenno crawls through easily.
Kenno decided to take us on a bit of a trip. He knew of some big hills that Roothy and I should tackle.
I knew it was going to be tough because it was scrabbly. It reaches a certain stage and you haven't got momentum and you haven't got traction, and there's really only one way to go, and unfortunately that's usually sideways and backwards. Oh, hey Kenno, where have you brought us, mate? This looks awesome.
Yeah, mate, I remember it being a bit of a doozy, but I don't quite remember it being that steep.
Mate, I wanted to test out the disco, but man, this is full on looking.
You've never had the Landy in up something like that, have you?
No, speed bumps is about it. It's got about 6 different suspension heights, and I've selected rock crawling,
Have you?
and off-road height and low range.
Rock crawling, off-road height, low range.
Extremely nervous. Scared is an understatement.
Wouldn't you rather do it in your old 80, mate, pegged up there in low range or something?
I'd be comfortable doing it in the 80.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I don't even know if we'll make that. I'm going to try, there's a chicken track there and another one there, but I'm going to poke up the left and cut across a little bit, and hopefully, because I can see I got a different rock on the left there, so that stops me there. That ledge would just stop me dead because there's no traction under that.
Yeah.
So I've only got one option. What about you, Ken? What do you reckon?
I'm thinking I'm going to go hard left, and that diff grabber you're talking about, I'm going to try and pop a wheel over it.
All right, guys, come on. This is going to be hell on wheels. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. You'll know what the Landy does after this.
I will.
Probably kadunk, 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 kadunk.
Straight into the deep end, mate.
If only I knew how right I was. All systems go. Let's boost Milo up a little. There we go, a few revs. So I don't have a starter either, so I really don't want to get stuck up there with no engine.
Alright, John, show us what Milo's known for, mate.
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, she's scrappy before you even get there. Rear locker, straight up. And as soon as I get the line I want, I'll be going for the...
That's scrabbly, isn't it?
Oh, loose ass, mate. I'm going for the front locker, a bit more hand throttle. Try and ride that thing. Whoops. That way was just going to go straight over.
I thought that was going to go over, John G.
Consider here, mate. I thought it was going to go too. I'm gonna. What am I going to do? Oh, further on the left. I'll try that.
That's the way. That's it. Oh, nice work. Good one, John.
It wasn't just steep upwards, it was sideways as well.
Oh man, I'm doing little double clenchies down here.
Yeah, now I'm really nervous.
Right, let's go.
Good luck, Leno.
Thanks, mate. I am probably... See, you can even tell by the way I'm talking. I'm properly scared.
Looks like it's just crawling up, mate.
Want to be careful.
I think you've got that big rock right under you, mate.
Oh.
I don't really want to go any further left. Might have to go to the right a little bit, I think. Try that. This doesn't feel good. The moment when the tyre blew, I knew I was in trouble.
Right hand down. Oh,
Whoa! I started bracing myself for the roll. Oh, there goes the tyre. The winch controls in the car here, mate.
front right, mate.
Sorry?
Blow your front right.
Just popped off the bead.
Help! The most difficult thing about that recovery was that we couldn't recover him until we'd secured him. This is just to save him, because it's a bit crucial.
Starting to slip here, guys.
Righto, mate, wheel her in, wheel her in.
Okay, mate.
Can you try a bit more winch rope on this one, please? And a bit of left hand down. Okay.
It's going to go up and over, mate. You need to pull it in a bit harder. Oh, hold on.
I could just see that beautiful brand new Land Rover just flopping all the way down the hill. Left hand down more, Glen. That's it, you kick the rock. Okay, just see if you can just drive a little bit.
Forwards.
Yeah, just a tiny little bit more.
Does that feel more stable?
It feels more stable.
Yeah, it looks more stable.
We'll rig up the other setup and we'll hoik you up. Where's the recovery point on that? 2 ropes. One to hold the vehicle down and one to get it just that little bit further up over the ledge. Listen, mate, here's what we're going to do. We've got you hooked up to Milo on the winch with an extension strap. We've only probably got about 6 foot of pull there. If you feel yourself lifting
Towards your dead tyre.
pull the other winch on and call us over the radio.
Copy, mate. So you want me to sort of just keep a little bit of tension on my winch so we don't go over it?
Yeah, you got it, mate. That's it exactly. Everything's looking great. Glen, got that other strap tight? Yeah, mate, all good.
Hang on, Glen, let me catch up with you.
You're just up on top of that rock now, Glen.
Tension's off now, is it?
Tension's off. Well, tension is still on as far as rolling cars go. There's every possibility you could drive from there, but I'm worried about that rim.
What we can do is I can raise the suspension right up in the air. We can put a log under the either under the bull bar or the rock sliders, and I can let the suspension down, which will take the weight off the tyre. So hopefully we can put it back on the bead that way.
Oh, that's beautiful, mate. Oh, it's almost going to pop itself back on. Has it got auto pop? There it goes. Pop! Pop! Come on, pop! Pop, 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 pop! Yay!
We got the pop!
Mate, I got plenty of drive here. Scary stuff. Don't want to do that ever again. Please, no. All over Red Rover. No.
Geez, I'm glad I unhooked that trailer now. I would have hated to have hurt the tinny or the boat motor.
Mate, I reckon you're game as Ned Kelly giving this a go after watching Gleno, but Milo did it. Come on through.
Locking it in.
Lock it in, Kenno.
All locked, here I come.
You got your front locker on, Ken?
I do, but it doesn't feel like it's on.
No, it didn't look like it was working there. I'll tell you when you get up here anyway, for sure.
No, that locker ain't working, but give it everything. No. Not going anywhere, mate. No front locker. Kenno's front locker isn't working, so rather than have another close call like we did with Gleno, I think it's a good idea that Kenno leaves this one for another day.
Guys, I'm going to go this way and I'm going to go fishing.
See you, Ken. He's got no chance of catching fish. Struth. After the heart-popping action up that hill, I'm really quite happy to stay on flat ground for a while. Our next destination is the Burrum Coast National Park. I must have gone past this place a million times and never turned in. This time we're going to, though. Burrum Coast felt so isolated. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's really not that far. It's only 3 or 4 hours north of Brisbane. And yet you could have been on the west side of the Cape or something like that. It just had that feeling of no one else in the whole wide world except you. The Burrum Coast National Park is split into 4 sections. We chose the Kinkuna area for a couple of reasons. You can have a campfire and you can camp with a view of the ocean. Just magic. If you're going to be serious about, you know, feeling one with the universe, feeling one with the world, it's a really good place to start, somewhere like that. I noticed the whole crew, everybody, wound up more relaxed after one day there.
As far as John's cooking goes, it's unreal. He always adds the best things. There's either chilli, cheese or corn chips.
I'd never seen this recipe or way of cooking before.
You know, if you wrap something in alfoil 2 or 3 times, there's a fair chance it's going to cook if you get the coals right and the timing right. And for ages I've been busting to try exactly that with a pumpkin. First of all, I found it really easy to cut a little lid that fitted out of the top of the pumpkin. It even came with a little handle. The inside of the pumpkin is actually built to be scooped out. I didn't realise that until I'd attacked one from that angle, and then all of a sudden, hang on, it's just coming out with a dessert spoon. Beautiful. So it's making its own little bowl with all the nice pumpkin around the outside of the bowl, and then it's just a question of filling it with something.
I've got the hots for you. Baby, baby, oil me up. Because I'm looking at you.
And we had some pork mince and a bit of beef mince and a few things. You know, you could fill one of those with almost anything. Whatever you like, a spicy meatloaf mix, anything at all, even just plain old mince with gravy would work really well.
You're boiling me up, enticing me up. Baby, baby, oil me up. Because I'm steaming for you.
Then with the lid back on and wrapped in probably 3 or 4 layers of alfoil, it would have wound up being, because I wanted them covered properly. You've got to seal up something if you're going to cook it in the hot coals. You don't want any breaks in the alfoil because that's where the moisture will come out. And chucked it into a bed of red hot coals.
Because I'm cooking for you.
10 minutes later, out they came. lid comes off, just magic, absolutely magic.
The pumpkin was so soft, and the mince or the pork or whatever he had in the middle of it was magical.
How good's that? Camping's so comfortable these days, I can almost talk the handbrake into it. Whether you're in a rooftop, a swag, a camper trailer, you can set up your own home away from home. Well, I've got to admit sometimes when I do go home, I feel like I'm at my home away from home, if you see what I mean. There I am, just having a nice quiet moment, enjoying the sunshine, and Kenno walks past in a huff.
I'll show these guys. Can't catch fish. Bloody hell. This is new age fishing. This is a sure thing, I reckon. I'll show them. I saw the guys flying the drones around, filming and doing all that sort of thing, and I thought to myself, how good would that be if you could hook some line onto it and bait and fly it out further than you can cast? That'd be awesome.
Wow, this is really getting high tech, mate. Some might call it desperate.
This is cool. How cool is this? I'm definitely going to get a fish. New age fishing like this.
I think we'll be the judge of that when we see the results, Ken.
This is the next big thing in fishing, I reckon. Hey! Worked out well. The theory worked. It was very good, but still no fish, unfortunately.
After a couple of days of just knocking around, it's time to hit the tracks again. Look, all the times I've been up this highway, I've never ducked into our next stop. It's not far out of Bundaberg, just one of those signs on the side of the road. This time around, we're going to see what's at the end of it. We're just on our way to our next campsite, and we saw this sign, Mystery Craters. And here they are, and they're fascinating. They're one of the geological mysteries of all time. What are they? That's the mystery. Nobody knows. They do know a little bit about them. They know that they were discovered in 1971 when a farmer was ploughing his paddock and his chisel plough got stuck. Well, you can see why. When you look around, the level of the dirt's probably a foot or two above this, and all these craters were filled up. And so they started to excavate them, to have a look to see what they were, because they just look fascinating. It's like somebody stirred up a whole cauldron full of sandstone and red ochre. It's just amazing. Now, they don't know how deep they are. They've tried to see if they're connected, but they're not, because the water levels are different in each hole. We know they're 25 million years old, but we don't know how they were formed. Were they formed from volcanic action from beneath a long gone sea? Were they formed by meteorites from the sky? Nobody knows. No matter how much they research it, it's one of the most fascinating geological mysteries of all time. Oh dear. You try to educate these blokes. Wonder what Gleno's up to. Oh yeah, Magnum with the works.
The plan was to head northwest to a national park that I've never heard of before. But once in there, it was magical.
Hey guys, this is Mulburn National Park. Never been here, I've been past the sign 1,000 times.
Mate, I hear this is beautiful in here, like there's even rainforest sections, is that right?
This is the largest bit of rainforest left in central Queensland, and yeah, it's supposed to be magnificent. I've never been here. Bulburren National Park is the last destination on our trip, sure, but to my mind this is the future of national parks too, because this is a place where they're encouraging people to have a look around, where they're cleaning up the lantana to make for nice campgrounds. This is a place where parks and the rangers involved realise that this is a tourist attraction. This is a place that people should come and look at, and by doing so, all the local businesses in this region are going to do well out of it too. This is the future of outdoor recreation.
Bulburren National Park I think's awesome. The terrain changes so much. You'd be going through a rainforest section, next thing you'd poke out into a bit of cattle grazing country. It's great. I could spend a long time here.
Boy, there's some incredible views around here. There's a lot of altitude.
Yeah, it's nice and lush. Loving it.
After a long drive down the Dawes Range Road, with a whole lot of lovely scenery, we arrive at the four-wheel drive only section. This is a loop track, and recently it's been graded, so, well, we know it won't be too bad. There are signs warning people not to drive the loop unless they've got plenty of off-road experience and have got some recovery gear too. When you're going down steep hills, keep a safe distance between the vehicles. And where you can, rely on your gearing. The less you have to ride your brakes, the better. You won't be cooking them. We're just driving through this beautiful, beautiful country up here. And look, quite a pretty little plant, isn't it? Except it's not. This is lantana. Lantana is an invader. It really is. It's just about taking over the east coast. Do you know, each one of these plants can spore off anything up to 12,000 spores at a single hit, which is why there's now 4 million hectares at least of lantana all up and down the east coast. This stuff strangles all the native plants. It absolutely is no good for anything. The cattle eat it, they get sick. It's actually a poison. It was brought in the 1840s from South America because people thought it looked pretty, and they grew it ornamentally in their gardens, and then it escaped and just went totally berserk. And I guess for me, I hate seeing this stuff in an Aussie national park. It shouldn't be here. But what worries me is that all the tracks they shut off and all the places we can't go, it's probably going to be riddled with this stuff, because that's what we've seen in past experiences. And what does that tell you? Well, it kind of tells you, I reckon, that there's absolutely no reason whatsoever to keep people out of national parks, away from tracks, from exploring and going in as deep as they possibly can. Do you know how many times I've had to paint my truck because of this stuff?
I'd love to get out of life completion. And what that means for me is biting off more than I can chew. I love setting goals for myself, and reaching those goals, it drives me. And I want to leave a legacy.
Travelling for me, I just enjoy getting into the outdoors and, you know, camping and having fun with the boys or the family. Just like to be outside. I need to be near water though. Water's a big thing for me. I love being near water.
Well, if you've got low range, you can pretty much go anywhere. And I know that the guys are just as excited as I am about exploring a whole lot of the places that we might have beat through in the past. Now we can go and have a look at them. That's a major advantage, and absorb them, take them in. Only because the sense of adventure around here is almost unlimited.
Hello. Hello.
Fuck! I had to do that for continuity's sake.
Because I was pissed before.
So I've never done one of these sober.
Oh, Kenno! I don't know what that is, but I bet the batteries go flat real quick.
Smells like rotten fish.
Of course it smells like rotten fish. It's because it is rotten fish.
Rock and roll! Rock and roll! Rock and roll!
Do the flex again because I needed to see if it fits in the frame. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good frame.
Just fits.
Just fits.
Look, Gleno's got
I've got a pink one. See?
Holy dolly. You got a pink lure, mate. You're only going to catch pink fish.
You go wake Kenno up. He's supposed to be out fishing at 4 o'clock this morning. Yeah, 20 to 7. And he did a no-show.
Time to hop up, wakey wakey.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Yeah, it's nearly.
Want some shapes? Hello.
Kenno.
Kenno on 17.
About time, Kenno.
Hook Point means you're real close to Fraser. One of the best four-wheel drive locations on earth. Hook Point is that close to Fraser, it's actually on it now. It's moved.
Actually, that's why I don't bother go fishing, because I'm already around something that stinks a lot, John.
I'm going to show Glen my undies. Yo, Gleno,
Yo.
check out my lens cloth.
Serious face now.
Smell weird?
You don't kiss the
No, you
mackerel?
don't kiss mackerel, you end up with no lips.
Well, they're not cute.
No, they're not cute. They got big sharp chompers.
Oh, I married a girl like that. I'll be good at this. Move aside.
I suppose I'm a bit like a sponge. I just want to suck everything out of him that I can.
Goodbye.